just check mark, and then, just put check mark and then your initials.
Okay.
Mr. Berkeley and Mr. Attorney, whenever you're ready.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Homedale Zoning Board meeting. I hereby call the May 7th, 2025 Zoning Board meeting to order. Irina, can you do the roll call, please? Oh,
Ms. Campus.
Ms.
We'll
Campus.
give word to Ms. Campus first.
I hereby announce pursuant to Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act that adequate notice of this meeting has been transmitted on January 14, 2024 by the Board Administrative Officer to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, the Township Clerk, and has been posted in the meeting room and in the entrance hall in Town Hall, all pursuant to Section 13 of the Open Public Meetings Act.
Mr. Berkeley,
Present.
Ms. Campus,
Here.
Ms. Gerkert is over the phone, Mr. Luciani,
Here.
Mr. Marzocca,
Here.
Mr. Giampolo,
Here.
Mr. Orfanidopoulos, absent, Ms. Costello, she's over the phone, Mr. Frigiola, absent. Thank you.
We're going to seat Angela for Dimitri. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence for all our military, police, and first responders. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, may I request a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting? First question is there any changes to the minutes from the, we're dealing with the April 16th draft 2025 minutes? If no changes, can I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
Eligible to vote, Mr. Berkeley,
Yes.
Ms. Campus,
Yes.
Ms. Gerhard,
Yes.
Mr. Giampolo,
Yes.
Mr. Marzocca,
Yes.
Mr. Luciani,
Yes,
Ms. Costello.
Yes,
The minutes for April 16th, 2025 were successfully adopted. Thank you.
Ms. Campus, can you please read the resolution on the?
Resolution number 2025-04, Zoning Board of Adjustment 2024-08, Danny Realty LLC, 2122 State Highway 35, Homedale, New Jersey, 07733, Block 51.01, Lots 1, 2, and 3, use and bulk variance relief.
Did it, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it was circulated to the applicant's team as well as our professionals. Had a couple minor comments, and the one you see before you is the final draft version.
Does anyone have any further changes to the resolution 2025-04? If none, can I have a motion to approve the resolution 2025-04?
I'll motion to approve resolution 25 dash,
04.
01.
04.
04.
2025-04.
I'll second that motion.
Mr. Berkeley,
Yes.
Ms. Campus, Ms. Gerhard,
yes,
Mr. Luciani,
Yes,
Mr. Marzocca,
Yes.
Mr. Giampolo,
Yes.
and Ms. Costello.
yes,
The resolution 2025-04 for Danny's Realty was successfully approved. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Campus, can you read the public hearing? No.
Hearing for Stephen and Jennifer Rivera, 97 Stillwell Road, Block 10, Lot 21, in the R40A zone. Zoning Board Variance 2024-7, single-family dwelling with variances.
Okay, at this point, I'd like to invite the attorney for the applicant to give a summary of the changes that you've made for your application since the meeting back in, I believe it was March.
continuation hearing. We were here back in March, and at that time, we gave an initial presentation of the application. Mr. Carito presented the engineering portion of the application, and after hearing comments from the board and from some members of the public, we decided to request that the matter be carried so that we could take a better look at this application to determine whether or not we could better accommodate the concerns that were expressed by board members and the public. The principal concerns related to the frontage and the front setback of the property. That has resulted in basically a complete redesign of the property. We have moved. Sorry, make sure your microphone is close to you.
Because the board members that are on the phone,
Underneath
they won't
is
hear
a
you.
little switch that'll stay on. If there's a little switch to the left, it'll stay on fully.
If it pleases the board, I'll sit down. so
Yes,
I
that would
can
be,
close
thank
to
you,
the
that would be even better,
microphone.
thank you.
So that having been said, the principal changes in the application are that the home has now been moved back to a conforming front yard setback beyond the required 50 feet. And in doing that, however, we had to redesign the site because we had to take the septic system and move it from the rear and reconstruct it to the front. In doing that, we have removed or eliminated the front yard setback. We also repositioned the house and the garage to eliminate the side yard setback deviations. However, because of the configuration, the garage has to be a little bit further behind the house, which requires us to lengthen the driveway so that the lot coverage has increased slightly. And Mr. Garrido will go over those deviations from you in his testimony. And basically,
Lori and Angela, we just want to confirm you can hear this okay?
He's very low, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
we'll bring it closer.
yeah,
That's
thank you.
better. So in any event, just to recap very quickly, the residence has been moved back to a conforming front yard setback location. We've eliminated that variance. We've eliminated the side yard variances as well by repositioning the house into the center of the property. And we have had to relocate the septic system to the front yard in order to move the house back. And that basically are the changes, and I would like Mr. Garrido to briefly go through them with you, and then I would present Ms. Aylen as planner to present the planning testimony.
And before we have testimony, though, I'd like to hear from our planner and our engineer on their comments first, and then we'll hear testimony from you.
But just to remind everyone, our professionals and as well as the applicant's professionals are still under oath.
So, Bill, do you want to go first?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Basically, they pushed the house back. They're still addressing the extra stormwater runoff to the rear by an infiltration system. The only thing that we necessarily need is a test pit to confirm the percolation rate in that area. It's back by the garage now where it was.
Bill, I'm sorry, they can't hear, you can see them thing too, so.
Can you hear me now? Sorry about that. Basically, what they have done is now put the infiltration system for the excess runoff that they're creating in the rear yard. The only thing we need really to verify that it will work is just to test pit an infiltration test in the back to make sure we have the right perk. Assuming that since the septic was there last time, I don't think it'll be a problem, but just dot the i's, cross the t's.
Okay, thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay,
And Mr. Chairman, we would have no objection to that as a condition of approval.
okay, Marty, do you want to note that? Planner?
Right, so as Bill just mentioned, and as the applicant's attorney just mentioned, the application has been substantially revised to essentially shift the house back, remove the front yard setback variance that was previously requested, and as a result of that, lot coverage has increased due to the extended driveway. But as Bill just mentioned, I defer to his professional testimony regarding lot coverage and the according stormwater impacts. And aside from that, we'd like to note that, as the applicant's attorney mentioned, the reconfigured plans result in a side and rear yard setbacks of 12.5 feet, which are conforming. And I would like to note that the zoning table should be amended to reflect the proposed 12.5 foot rear yard setback. Currently, the zoning table, I believe, mentions a 70 something foot yard setback, so, for the rear yard, so I just request the applicant revise that. And aside from that, regarding the detached garage, I'd just like to quickly reference ordinance section 30-109, which requires for garages in the R40A district that there should be adequate area provided so that vehicles may be turned around in the driveway and exit in the forward direction. So I request that the applicant's engineer testify regarding the adequacy of that area.
Okay, thank you. If you want to go ahead with the, your testimony?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would call on A.J. Garrido to present the changes to the application.
Can I turn the TV on?
Yes, please.
Monitor?
Yep, and AJ, you can take this microphone if it's easier.
I think it just clicked, yeah.
So A.J., you have previously been sworn, you're still under oath, you understand that?
Yes.
And would you describe to the board what the board is showing now, which is the revised application, and how that has changed from what we presented before?
Sure. And I'll use my cursor and then I'll point it at the plan, and the plan is just a version of the plan of that you have in front of you that was revised for this application. The septic field was originally in the rear where the garage is proposed now. We moved the septic field to the front of the property, tried to make it as close to the front and as narrow in depth as we could, but septics need to be 10 feet from property line, so it can only be so wide. And then septics have to be 25 feet from a dwelling. If it has a basement, that can be reduced to 15 feet if it's on a crawl space or a slab. So the only change we really did to the plans of the house was this front piece here was a full basement, but that was revised just to be a slab. So we could reduce the distance from 15 feet, trying to keep everything as close to the street as possible without requiring variances. By doing that, the front yard setback is now, I believe, 50.5 feet, where 50 feet is the required setback. Originally, we were proposing the house up at 18 feet. And basically, the garage and all the other proposed improvements are the same. It just got shifted back more to the rear of the property. We were able to eliminate the three setback variances by doing these revisions. The only variance we couldn't eliminate was the proposed lot coverage. Originally, we were proposing a 35% lot coverage, and now with the new plan, it's actually 40.6%. In addition, about 5.6%, and that's basically just because of the driveway had to be extended, so it added a few more percent on the lot coverage. Although 5% seems like maybe a large number, but keep in mind the lot's only 11,000 square feet, so it's just the added X amount of feet of the driveway. And we were proposing a stormwater management system to remediate any impacts of runoff due to increased lot coverage. It was a small infiltrator system that typically used for these type of developments. And originally we were proposing 2 chambers, and with the added lot coverage now we'll propose 3 chambers. And any technical comments from your engineer or your planner will certainly comply with.
And A.J., there was a particular question from the planner regarding the ability of vehicles from the garage to turn so that they can exit the site front out.
Yes. Cars have to make like a K-turn to get out of the driveway. It's just the way it is. They can't turn around cleanly. The lot's only 55 feet in width. So we try to make it so it is possible to get out, obviously, but we didn't extend the driveway anymore. So that's just going to be a little bit of a K-turn to get out of the driveway.
So they may be inconvenienced with the extent of having to make a K-turn, but the alternative to that is increasing the driveway and increasing the coverage.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it.
So we're trying not to do that.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the board? Francine, go ahead.
Are you mentioning that you're increasing to a 40.6 lot coverage? Now, you're talking about impervious coverage, is that what you're saying?
Impervious.
So that driveway will have no pervious coverage, like, not a paved driveway. In other words, having,
It is a paved.
That's why I
driveway.
say
so that's what I'm saying. So that is all impervious coverage on the thing.
That's correct.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board? Anything, Bill, do you have something to say?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Do you have any more?
I don't have any further questions of this witness. I'd like to present Barbara Allen, the planner.
Great, okay. Thank you. Marty, do we have to swear in?
I think she was sworn last. Barbara, you were sworn, right?
I,
Were you sworn? I don't remember.
I had
I
you
would-
listed as sworn last time. I think we
Great.
did everybody at the same time, but you have to go through quickly your credentials.
and you understand you're still under oath. And please advise the board of your educational background, your licensing.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Barbara Allen. I'm a licensed professional planner in the state of New Jersey and an AICP. I've been with Beacon Planning since 2008 and have worked my way up to principal. I've been accepted as a planner throughout the state of New Jersey and currently act as the planner for the Board of Freehold, Borough of Freehold.
Thank you.
And we would ask that the board accept her credentials
Any,
as a professional planner.
Everyone accept her credentials? Any
Yes.
questions? Okay. You're
Great.
accepted.
Thank you. Barbara, have you reviewed the plans and the submissions to the board that the applicant has made in this application?
Yes, I have.
And did you review the township ordinances and master plan in preparation for this presentation?
Yes, I have.
Can you tell the board, as a result of those reviews, can you describe to the board what you considered and what your conclusions are?
Love to. So this evening is an application for a single-family home on an undersized parcel. The parcel is located within the township's R40A district, which actually permits single-family dwellings, so the use is permitted. The lot itself is dimensioned at 55 feet by 200 feet and contains 11,000 square feet, which is undersized for the district, wherein 43,000 square feet is required. So we're approximately 25% of the minimum lot size. The lot also contains 55 feet of frontage along Stillwell Road, where 100 feet is required, and a width of 55 feet, where 180 feet is required. Pursuant to available tax records, the home dates to 1921.
Have you been to the property?
I have been to the property.
And can you describe the home that currently exists there?
Yes, I actually have some photos of the home.
And before you do that, Mike, there was another exhibit you just had up.
Yes.
But we just should, I don't know if those were submitted, if not, we need to
They are not.
mark those.
So the first, come on. The first exhibit is an aerial.
Just want to see what number we left off at.
We left off at A3.
It's an aerial exhibit with the property outlined in yellow.
So Irene, this is A4, you said? A4. Okay. So I'm sorry, housekeeping. AJ, did you submit that other plan you showed, the revised? That was already submitted? That was revised. You have that? Yes. Okay, so we don't need to mark that. So we'll do A4 for your first photo, the color, and then this is,
A5.
A5, which is a photo of the home as it stands today. Just as a little descriptive, obviously it's a single-story structure. Some of the windows have started to be boarded up, and it is in a deteriorating state. The next photo I have, would this be
You're now at A6.
A6?
Last one was A5.
Is a photo of the rear property, and you can see the existing shed kind of starting to fall down.
Okay.
Can you describe, just briefly the surrounding area?
Let me pull up the aerial.
Perhaps go back to A4.
So the area is characterized by single-family dwellings on a variety of lot sizes. The subject property is undersized, and so are the properties to the east and west of the property. The applicant is proposing a single-family home that will respect the front yard setback, so it will not intrude in front of the other adjoining homes. Two-story homes are present within this neighborhood. Variances, the only variance requested this evening is for lot coverage. Before I get into the variance, I always like to look through the community's master plan. The 2004 master plan stated goals and objectives include protect the unique character of Homedale, which consists of desirable residential neighborhoods, attractive commercial areas and business campuses, and the historic hamlet of Homedale Village and its agricultural environs. Subsequent re-examination reports reaffirm this goal. So you are seeking reinvestment and to preserve your residential neighborhoods. In this instance, the proposed home represents a reinvestment and removes an eyesore or something that is actually taking down the neighborhood a bit. We can also look to the municipal land use law, and I would opine that to promote a desirable visual environment through creative development techniques and good civic design and arrangement is promoted, as we are eliminating a dilapidated structure. Also, to encourage coordination of the various public and private procedures and activities shaping land development with a view of lessening the cost of such development and to the more efficient use of land. This is an existing undersized property, and the improvements proposed have been oriented in a manner that allows the structure to meet the front yard setback and all side yard setbacks, and also provide a modest-sized home. It's not oversized, as we meet building coverage and we meet all setbacks, as well as the detached garage. With respect to the variances sought, existing conditions, lot area, lot width, lot frontage, would be considered pre-existing conditions that are proposed to remain. They're not being exacerbated by the current application. That leaves us a request for lot coverage of 40.6%. In this instance, the narrowness of the lot has resulted in the applicant orienting improvements so that it's the septic, the single-family home, and the garage. This allows the home to meet the front yard setback and therefore not intrude or seem out of place with the neighboring properties. Unfortunately, it does result in the driveway having to extend the majority of the lot to access that rear garage. And that driveway is the trigger for the lot coverage in this instance. So I would opine that this falls under the C1 criteria, as these are existing conditions, the existing dimensions of the lot and the area. And I'd also opine that it qualifies under the C2, as it presents a better zoning alternative, as it allows the proposed home to meet setback requirements and building coverage requirements. With respect to negative substantial detriment, I do not see any. The zone anticipates a single-family home in this district, and that is what is proposed. Any concerns regarding stormwater have been mitigated by the applicant by the proposed on-site system. Noise, traffic, trash have all been anticipated within the district as the use is permitted.
Can you just describe again, I know the other gentleman had described it, but exactly what the mitigating, is it called a small infiltrator system with 3 chambers? Can you just describe a little bit more plain English what that means?
So it'll allow that stormwater that runs off on site to be collected on site and infiltrated on site, so it will not impact the adjoining neighbors or their property.
And that'll be in the backyard?
That'll be in the backyard proximate to the garage.
Okay.
Are there any additional questions I may answer?
Excuse me for not.
No, but is there a patio already in these? I'm just concerned about more impervious coverage down the road.
I believe there is a proposed deck along the rear of the home, which is not calculated as part of lot coverage.
Okay.
And any increase in lot coverage would trigger another variance, so they would have to come back.
Right, I know, but to prevent them from coming back.
Angela and Lori, do you have any questions? I forgot to ask you before with the other
I do
testimony.
not. I'm good.
Okay, Lori's good?
Nothing from me.
Nothing from Angela? Okay. And do you have any more testimony to provide?
Mr. Chairman, I think that concludes the testimony that we have for this evening. We hope that the changes that we provided are a substantial improvement over what was submitted previously and is worthy of your approval.
Okay, thank you.
Got one question.
Oh, go ahead, Gene.
It's not me. Now, one way you could do to make have less impervious coverage would be to have a driveway that was not impervious, right? That would be like a stone driveway, or use a semi-permanent semi-pervious material?
I'll ask AJ to respond to that. I think that your stone driveways are considered to be impervious coverage because eventually they get packed down so that they, under the ordinance, I think they're considered to be impervious. AJ, maybe you could address that.
Yeah, that's my understanding too. So if you put a driveway or a paver driveway or even a porous paving driveway, I believe in your professionals can, if I'm wrong, they still count as lot coverage, so technically we'll still need the same variance. And then you try to think of, well, is there going to be any negative impact with a regular asphalt driveway or a porous paving driveway? And be my opinion, my engineering opinion, that there's not going to be. It's we're talking percents, but we're talking hundreds of square feet of impervious material, of which we're providing a stormwater management system to collect it, put it back in the ground, infiltrate it into the ground, and then aesthetically, if you're trying not to have a lot of hardscape showing, obviously a porous paving driveway or a regular asphalt driveway is going to look the same. And sort of the way the lot is, it's long and narrow. I don't think aesthetically you're going to really notice that extra difference in lot coverage.
Bill, do you want to comment, Bill?
Sure. Basically, with the stone driveways, the sub-base underneath it is all like road stone. It's got clays in it and fines. It's got a choker layer to begin with in order to really get a substantial, strong base. If you happen to go with pervious pavement, pervious concrete are alternatives. High maintenance, they get sealed down the road 10 years from now. You look at the driveways, it doesn't look good. Let's seal it because it looks it's going to look kind of honeycomby. It's a little open, and they're going to seal it. And then it's a problem for your code enforcement because he's got to enforce and inspect it every once in a while. In the end, they all fail.
Okay. So do you feel that the small infiltrator system is a mitigating factor for the lot coverage variance?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Gene, are you okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? All right, I'm going to open up to the public. If there are any public comments, I'm not sure I see anyone. Marty, is that a questions or comments from anyone in the public? No more questions or comments from the board? All right, seeing none, we will close the question and answer period and move to a vote. Can I have a motion to pass the variance for lot coverage of 40.6% for 97 Stillwell Road, Block 10, Lot 21 in the R40A zone? Do I have a motion for that?
And just for the record,
Okay.
and it includes the three pre-existing variances that obviously come with this lot. Minimum lot size, minimum lot frontage, minimum lot width, as the planner had testified to.
Okay.
And that would be subject to the two conditions: submitting the appropriate drainage to Bill to approve the calculations and amending the.
Amending the zone table, yes.
Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the impervious coverage variance for 97 Stillwell Road for Stephen and Jennifer Rivera with the condition about the stormwater management and the three pre-existing variances.
I'll second that.
Yes.
Ms. Campus?
Yes.
Ms. Gerhard?
Yes.
Mr. Luciani?
Yes.
Mr. Merzouka?
Yes.
Mr. Giampolo?
Yes.
Ms. Costello?
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passed. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you
Thank you
hearing
for
us.
making those changes, by the way. Thank you. We appreciate it. Okay, moving along, we're going to go to the professional reports. Are there any reports that our professionals would like to deliver?
No, Mr. Chairman, I have no report.
Okay, seeing there are none, can I have?
Motion to adjourn?
A motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, everyone.